Hello everybody, my name is Katrina and I am the host of Our Collective Life. We are a channel that is dedicated to sharing our experience of life with dissociative identity disorder, as well as how we manage money as a system. This week I am not going to do a video on money. Things kind of collapsed on themselves, but I would like to talk about kind of some of the myths and misconceptions and frequently asked questions we get as a DID system. I put a post on Facebook asking if anyone had any questions, and I didn't get that many responses. But I would like to kind of answer kind of common questions I get asked. So one of the questions I did get asked was, how many alters are there in your system? And to be perfectly honest, I'm going to answer I have no idea. Currently the number stands at about 23, 24. Not 100% sure really, because we had a new alter come out in therapy on Thursday, but we don't know if she's one of the alters who has age slid, that is where her age has gotten older, or if it's an alter we didn't know about. So we're going to say 23, 24 just as a precaution, because I hate to put a number of how many there are, as it's hard enough to accept the 22 I've got already, including myself. So the next question I got asked is, how do I know when I've switched? Or how do I know when an alter has been out and when I'm back to myself? And you know what? It's actually a really complicated question to answer, because it's really hard to explain. So I'll give you an example. Okay, so last night I ended up going out unexpectedly. I have an alter in my system who's a bit of a persecutor, that is an alter who acts negatively, and she persecutes the system basically and everybody else. But anyway, and before she presented in the body, I felt really off kilter, like someone had taken my insides and shook me. And I felt really unstable, really unsafe, and panicky and stressed and chaotic. And that's how I knew who it was. It was Dream. And basically afterwards, when I came round in the pub, you know, I didn't even have to figure out, because I knew, you know, Dream is complicated without a doubt. And I came round and there was an empty glass of wine. You know, I picked up the wine, smelt it, and I could smell the rosé, which is Dream's signature drink, and I just went, yeah, okay, and then had to go home drunk, which, anyway. And you know what, sometimes I don't actually know when I switch, you know, minutes, seconds, sometimes the switches are so brief, I have no idea. I call that kind of the revolving door switching. It just feels chaotic, messy, draining and exhausting. For example as well, with James, before he comes out, I feel strong, I feel steady, I feel stable, I feel safe, as that's what James is. You know, he is the kind of rock of our system. But some of them I don't know, and I have to kind of play detective to figure out. So I'll come out and I'll have a look around, I'll look at Facebook, I'll look at all social media, I'll look at browser history, gaming history, You know, I'll look in the rubbish to see if there's any sweet packets to try and decipher, because it can be so difficult to figure out. And sometimes I just don't know. People will tell me, my therapist will tell me, Tim will tell me that he's my best friend. And the only way I'll know is if people tell me. Which is complicated, you know, especially as I live alone and the only typical evidence is Pepper, my cat. So one of the more common questions I have, and it's my biggest bugbear, is, you know DID is controversial, right? And I'm just like, yes, I do, funny enough. 17 years of trying to get a diagnosis and help. I definitely know that DID is controversial. And it always makes me laugh, because it's pretty much them saying, I don't believe it exists, but you believe it exists. Look, let's make one thing clear. We all know controversial things exist. Currently, one of them is in the White House. You know? Yes, I'm a liberal. Okay. Another kind of misconception is all people with DID are serial killers. No. It's a scientifically proven fact that 70% are, no, I'm getting them statistics muddled up here. It's a proven fact that people with mental illness and DID especially are more likely to experience violence than receive it. Another kind of misconception, and is something I struggle with massively, is the question of which one of you is evil. I'd like to say no one, you know, but it's something I struggle with, because, you know, no one, I can't honestly say everybody in my system is inherently evil. It's just some make me think they are, you know. It gives me a headache, very big headache. Another question I get asked is, another big misconception is, if you have DID, you don't know about your alters. I remember a psychiatrist saying this to me once, and I just kind of looked at him and I just went, huh, you know, because basically I've spent a very long time being aware of my alters. You know, Dream actually was the first alter I fully became aware of. I kind of knew about James, but I didn't understand what he was, you know, but Dream, yes, I was fully aware of Dream because everybody else was. Sorry, my brain's gone blank. It seemed like a good idea when I started. Another kind of weird misconception is something that a psychiatrist said to me that also made me go, huh, was borderline personality disorder and dissociative identity disorder are the exact same thing. And it isn't. It is completely two things. Oil and water, basically. You can have DID and BPD because one alter can have BPD, but another can't, if that makes any sense. James, for example, does not have borderline personality disorder. He is very black and white in his thinking, but he is very stable. You know, very stable. I'm quite envious of how stable he is. I have a comorbid diagnosis of dissociative identity disorder and borderline personality disorder. And I dislike the borderline personality disorder label massively. I'm not going to go into why it doesn't need to be addressed, but you know, I recognise it as a valid mental illness. I just feel it doesn't apply to me. Um, I am very fortunate that I have a lot of people who kind of understand my situation. You know, they've met my alters, some of them. You know, they haven't met everyone, not even Tim, who I've known for 12 years, 30 years, can say he's met every alter, you know, because I haven't met every alter. There's alters that Tim knows about and has met that I haven't met, you know, but I think a lot of the misconceptions, especially since Split came out, has done significant harm to this mental illness. It is a mental illness. It's also kind of, I think it's kind of like some weird developmental trauma illness as well, because you can't have DID without trauma, whatever that trauma is. And I know I'm probably going to get some hate for that, but yeah. I better go. I'm going. So, thank you for watching my video. I hope it didn't ramble too long, but I just wanted to address some stuff. If you have any questions about DID, I am open to answering them. I don't answer anything about child alters, as that is a responsibility in our system to keep people safe. But yes, thank you very much, and have a good week. Bye.